Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because buyers are taking a pause right now and taking a big time out. So please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. There is a ton to cover today, including our sponsor, Private Internet Access. But first things first, D.R. Horton is the world's largest home builder. And they just announced their numbers. And everything should be great, right? Because the economy is so good. They should have made money hand over fist. Well, think about this. They only closed in the third quarter new construction, homes that were built, 19,025 homes. Okay? Well, that sounds like a lot. Well, no. Analysts thought that they were going to do 19,994, almost, not over 950 more homes, and they didn't do that. So what happens? The stock gets clobbered. The CEO of the company steps forward and they start asking questions. What happened, guys? Well, people are sitting this out. People are taking a pause right now. And they had a tremendous amount of contracts canceled. Freaking out. Yippee dogs. Got a good reaction to that. People are taking a pause for two reasons. Number one, high interest rates that never dropped like everybody thought they were. They dropped, my go-to gal for loans, Sabina, said, Dan, they dropped for 2 weeks and then it ended and the rates went right back up. So rates are high and people have that to look forward to. They can't afford these expensive homes. D.R. Horton has given every type of incentive that they could right now. They've given people interest rate reductions. They've given people incentives on upgrades, landscaping, uh, delay on the payments. They've done everything they could possibly do, and it has not worked. Now, think about this. The other big problem that they had, and they had almost 14% of the houses not close escrow because of the price of insurance. So what builders are going to have to do is they're going to have to step forward and sit there and say, hey, we've got an insurance coverage. It's going to give you $1 million of coverage, this much medical, this much inside your interior for X amount of dollars. They're going to have to do that. And they're going to have to find an insurance carrier that's going to honor that. But again, no, it's not going to work, guys. People are fed up and people cannot afford what's happening. All we've done is talk about how bad the numbers are in business, and D.R. Horton stock drops an absolute ton when these numbers came out. And so with that, stock's down, 12%, and they see real problems, down the road. Now, it's funny. Another stock that got clobbered yesterday was Wingstop. And the fact that the stock was almost, $300 a share was shocking to me. Wingstop. A bunch of single guys go there to watch the game. That's my envision of this place. But sales were up, revenue was up, but profits were down. They got clobbered. The stock dropped almost 22% in a day just because of the numbers. But this sheds light on businesses like this. I don't think Chipotle should be worth, $700 a share. I don't think McDonald should be worth what it is. I think that this is crazy. A home builder, that's a different story. Somebody selling an asset for up to $1 million. That's different than somebody selling wings at Wingstop. But I digress. The other problem that people are having is the property tax issue. And this is something that D.R. Horton found, is that people buy houses and get the property tax bill and say, how much is it? Well, it's, $1,860 based on raw land. Oh, okay. How much is it with the house on it? And here in California, I'm walking down the street, 8, 9, house at the end of the street sold for $17.5 million, okay, which is in Looneyville. Yes, this is your backyard, but that's insane. So generally it's 1%, unless you've got mellow roofs or they have different bond issues that were for the schools and things like that. So if you say 1 to 1.2%, you're pretty safe. The problem with it is the property tax issues. I have literally every day people that write me and say, oh my gosh, Dan, I got my property tax bill. I can't afford it. Jeffrey Brown out of Cook County area in Illinois. got his bill and said, what? I didn't do anything to my house, no improvements, no nothing. It went from $4,000 to $8,400 in a year's time. I don't have the money. And the thing about this is that, hey, pay your bills, get yourself down to where you have no debt, and then you're fine. Well, you never own your house, guys, because of the property taxes. You have to pay the property taxes, because if Mr. Brown in the Chicago area decides not to pay his taxes, they're going to take his house, they're going to sell it. So there's that. But this is a problem around the country right now. You have so many people, think about this, that so many municipalities and cities that are making less money. Wages, people want more money. They want, they're not getting the tax dollars. Businesses are not doing well. So what do? They raise your property taxes. Now, you can call California anything you want, but that's the big holy grail, and that is the third rail of real estate here is this. They've done ridiculous things in LA proper where they've said, listen, if you have a house and it's over $5 million, we want an additional 5% of the sale for the homeless, which they don't use it for the homeless. It's an absolute scam. And Governor Newsom yesterday announces that they're going to put $800 million towards the homeless problem in Southern California. It's been billions. $23 billion is missing. Where's that? Give me an accounting of that. That's what's sick right now about this stuff. So, you haven't seen anything yet. The big problem is that if you can even get insurance, there's houses right now that are there's houses right now that are out there that'll never get insurance. They just won't because of where they're located. And what's that worth? What is your house worth if you can't get insurance? I've heard people say, you self-insure, you do that. Okay, deal with that after a hurricane. I'm telling you, deal with the problems with, electrical problems. Anything that could absolutely go wrong. Oh, one thing that's very cool out here is they have a boat parade every holiday season. That would be Christmas for you and I. For Christmas season, what they do is they decorate all the boats and then have a big boat parade. It's cool. You sit in a restaurant or you get a perch like this and you could come by, sit here and watch the boat parade. It used to go 24 days. 20 years ago, it went literally from the 1st until the 24th. And like all good things, they killed it and it got smaller and smaller and smaller to where it's basically, I think, 6 days long now. So just not what it used to be. But that's the big problem that you're seeing is that all these taxes and property taxes, insurance, it's killing, it's killing the real estate business. And my friends that are in the foreclosure market, there's a big foreclosure festival next week and everybody's going to it. Everybody in the banking industry is going to go out and be at that. So once again, after the election, you're going to see all hell break loose when it comes to real estate and the sale of these houses that are being held. And the banks are going to be stuck with things. You want a deal? That's going to be your little ding, ding, ding to get yourself a deal. Mark my words, okay? But it's going to take money. Remember that. Let's talk about our sponsor, Private Internet Access, VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network. And what it does is it gives you a level of encryption from any device that you are on to any website that you go to. This includes your bank, your pension, any government site, anything that you go to, it makes you anonymous. The advantage to this is that Private Internet Access set this up to where it's incredibly inexpensive. They gave us 83% off, and it covers every device in your home. So if you have 10 devices, they're all covered. Your laptop, your cell phone, your personal computer, your tablet, your iPad, everything, all covered. Now, there was a new cyber scam out of Florida called Evil Twin. And what it did was it basically mocked existing websites that were real, whether it was your website or it was, different internet service providers, and it looked real, but it was off by a little bit. And this could be detected by using a VPN. You have to protect yourself, guys. This costs pennies a day, And the 83% off that they have for iAllegedly subscribers is gonna end. So I'm hitting this up at the end of the month just so you guys can get this one last time. But please, let me show you how simple this thing is. There is zero hardware to install, and all you have to do is press one button. And once it turns green, you are protected. I can surf the web anywhere in the public. I could go to use any domain router and it would protect me to make sure that I'm not putting my information in places that it shouldn't be. Check it out today, save 83%, but get yourself the VPN. Like I said, it's pennies a day. It was the iAllegedly product of the year for 2022 and 2023. It's absolutely amazing. #1 rated. Check it out today. Here's a follow-up on a few things that we've talked about lately. And there's a manufacturing company in Michigan who was just ordered to pay back their $3.6 million PPP loan. And again, never should have gotten it in the first place, but nobody's going to jail for this one. You just need to pay us back $3.6 million. Now, again, misrepresentation, locations, what we should have used the money for. Okay, that's what they're coming back after people for. And it just feels good knowing that they're coming after these people. Okay, now the manufacturing company is going to pay it because they got the money, but never should have gotten $3.6 million. The next one is a local county board of supervisor named Andrew Doe. Mr. Doe got PPP loans and other COVID money talking about how he was going to feed the homeless and the less fortunate. Do you understand that Fran Glover, who runs the great site business, Joseph Dreamhouse, who feeds the homeless and the less fortunate, can't get money, but Andrew Doe got himself millions of dollars. And what did he do? He didn't feed anybody. He fed his family, bought houses for his kids. His wife is a judge too, and they don't know how this is going to affect her, but the guy, he had to resign, and he's going to have to pay the money back, and we'll see if he has to do any jail time. But that's what's unfortunate about this, is that people took this money that could have been used someplace else for the common good. And again, man, I don't want to hear about anybody going hungry in this world. There's people have enough challenges right now, and there are irresponsible people that use drugs and things that are stupid, and we need to help people right now, especially the families and people that are less fortunate, including our veterans. Another real estate story out of California, and that they interviewed 90,000 real estate agents in California. That's the wild thing. When I started reading this out of Newsweek, I thought, wait a second, I would not have thought that there were 90,000 agents in California, but there's a lot more than that. And of the 90,000 agents, 14% said that they've had cancellations this year because people can't get adequate insurance and have to back out of the deal. So not just cold feet, can't afford it. So think about this. You look for the house, you get your dream house, and you're prepared to go ahead, and you have to back out of the deal because of the fact that you can't get insurance that's fair. And again, you want to be a good agent, go out and fix this, guys. Go out and fix this. Stephen from the UK sent me a bunch of stories. I'll cover some of those in a bit. But one thing that blew me away was here in California in San Diego, a woman's kids were playing in the backyard, and son got bit by a snake. Okay, and the kids, snake. Okay, so they had to take him to the hospital, and because he was so young, he was 2, they had to issue the anti-venom and had to do all these different methods to get the kid the anti-venom. How much was the charge for the hospital? 300 grand, $300,000, which of course nobody can afford 300 grand for anything. And fighting with the insurance company because she had insurance too. That's the worst part. Here's what's sickening is when you take an ambulance ride, thank God they got John there quick. No, that's not covered by your insurance. You have to pay that. They wanted this kid's family to pay $11,000 for the ambulance ride just down the street. 11 grand for that. And we lit the sirens up and everything for him. It was a great day at Disneyland. So that's what's wrong with this. But nobody can afford this stuff. So let me know your thoughts on all this. One thing I want to remind you about is we have a private channel called iAllegedly Live that is completely uncensored for everything too hot for here. And I am so grateful because hundreds of you have signed up for it, and it's fantastic. And we're putting information out and videos out all the time on that channel. Go to iallegedly.tv and you can sign up for that if that interests you. And I'd love to have you there. So a lot of cool stuff happening. I can't wait to share it with you. The numbers don't lie in the economy. One thing that you're seeing is that business is taking a hit in so many different areas. And one thing that we talked about a year and a half ago was that you would see more and more businesses that would merge out of necessity, and it would be a way for them to survive. The Kroger merger. Now, think about this. Apple is considering buying Intel right now. That's wild, guys. That is absolutely wild because the chip maker's not doing that well. Sales are slumping from personal computers. I'm going to keep it longer. I don't want to get a new one. That's what you're seeing. So it'll be interesting to see if they make an offer on Intel or not. The next thing that's wild is, we had a flurry of people in 2021 through 2022 that quit their jobs, especially older people my age and above. I hate this, kids. I'm done. I'm going to go take it easy. The problem is a lot of these people quit, didn't have good retirement, had a few $1,000s, 20, 30, 40 grand, and realized how quickly it would go. And they quit their jobs at a record pace. Now think about this. People right now are not quitting their jobs right now. Can't get another job, and they're keeping their jobs longer right now to try to maintain, their finances right now. Great story below about how the percentage of people that are quitting is off. It's off basically half of what it was a year ago. Well, people know what's going on. If people that are real, and if you've listened to anything that someone like me says, it's like, just prepare for the shenanigans that are going to happen and continue, because the home builders, Wingstop, everybody, when you hear about all these people that are not doing well, it should remind us Intel's not doing good, guys. Now, here's the worst one. Boeing, when it rains, it pours. And Boeing overcharged the government 9,000% for the cargo planes. I think they're the C-19s. Anyways, I'll make sure I get the plane right because I'm going to have somebody correct me. But C-17, pardon me. C-17 planes, the little soap dispenser, overcharged them by 9,000%. And, you have whistleblowers that scan everything. What'd they pay for this? What'd they pay for that? When you're paying, 96 times what you're supposed to pay for something, it's ridiculous. But again, it is just criminal act. And Boeing has such a bad reputation. But remember, every day, hey, will the machinists sign off? Think they're going to come to agreement? Don't forget those two people are sitting there in space floating around and have been for months now. And they're almost 6 months away from returning home if they make it. But why talk about that? Think about this. It should be you should open the news every day with how Butch and Sunni are doing. So, but criminal act, Boeing ripped us off, because when they charge the government this stuff, they're charging you and I for this. Don't forget that. We're getting clipped for this. The PPP loans and all this stuff. Feel good about these people getting, called to the carpet, because they need to be responsible for this. Let me know what you think so far. There's a lot to cover in this last little segment, but I'm going to finish this video with all this. And first thing is, there is a martini at the Adelina restaurant in Chicago. That is $13,000 for a martini. It's a mezcal martini that's laced with diamonds. So if you're on crack, you can go drink that martini and get shot at after you leave the restaurant. It'll be fun. Fun night. Give me the diamond. Anyways, Steven from the UK always sends me good stuff, but man, oh man, he hit the mother load today. First things first, McDonald's, okay, is having a real difficult time in the UK because of how expensive it is. It's just like here. So what they came up with was, they came up with a $2.49 pound, $3.50 hamburger called the Chili Burger, and it's basically 2 patties. It looks like a McDouble, but they threw in some jalapenos in there. Sounds kind of good, but again, will that save McDonald's in the UK? Who knows? Then there's a restaurant that stepped forward, and for breakfast, they will sell traditional English breakfast items, which you know, all these different things that I can't, anyways, English stuff. Okay. But it's 25 pounds to eat there, and people are just fuming, man. And the best part about this story is reading the people's comments online, because the place is called Cowshed, and the Cowshed, people are like, no breakfast is worth 25 pounds. Guys, I'm telling you, if you ever traveled, if you ever gone to a hotel, restaurant, my cousin works for a security company and travels around the country. And I believe he's in Alabama right now and goes into the resort, and breakfast is $45. So 25 pounds didn't seem like much to me, but people were fuming about that. Absolutely angry. Now the final story is out of Subway, the sandwich shop. Remember 3 years ago, that great lawsuit where 2 women sued and said that they determined that the tuna had no tuna DNA and no discernible DNA of tuna, which I thought was great. The lawsuit got kicked, it got reinstated, got kicked again, back and forth. Anyways, Anna Tolleson is now suing Subway because she went in to a New York location and ordered the steak and cheese and said that this is determined that there's nowhere near the amount of meat that you had on compared to what's in the picture, compared to what you got in the sandwich. So false advertisement, suing in federal court for this. So crazy, guys. You're going to see more and more of this stuff. And again, have you ever sat there and looked at a picture of something in a restaurant and said, oh God, it better look like that? Because it never does. Okay? Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And email me, hello@iallegedly.com. And onward and upward, guys. I'll see you very soon.